our thing is you can close all whatever existing to start as a fresh project, close project. Always when you come to the laboratory or when you are using some other friends' laptops, everything, we may have a confusion that they would have opened a project, they would have created some important files. So you close everything and have a fresh screen like this. Now you go for new project. The step one is project new microvision project. So always use close project, close all the documents, whatever is available. Then you give microvision. Now, if you give like that, it will ask for a name. Okay, so to save, so always save your projects in a particular folder. So documents, mostly it will be targeting to the documents. In the document, you create a folder. Just right click, new folder. So let us take you. I had just my own PhD registration number. I'm just giving it. So I will select this thing. Inside that, I will give the file name as task one, your registration number. Always follow the same format. Okay. For mark evaluation, it will be good. And without any confusion, you can have your files easily traceable. After this, the second step, it will ask for selecting the devices. So in this devices, you have to find it is alphabetically arranged, therefore very easy. You can directly go to NXP. In that NXP, we can select the IC number P89 C51 or D2. I'll just type so we'll be having this particular thing. You can see the description. It is an 8051 based CMOS controller with the PCA, dual DPTR, WT, 32 input output lines, 3 timers encounters, 7 interrupts, 4 priority levels, 64 bytes of ISP flash, 256 bytes of on-chip memory, 768 bytes of XRAM. So these features you can see if you click the other version. Okay. Both are one and the same, but you can see that you can use P89C51RT2XX. Sir, I don't want this particular thing, sir. Why I want to search like this? I randomly take means it will be different. You can see that it may have some other configurations. So sometimes your laboratory, when you come to the laboratory after a normal condition, you want to do some experiment in the laboratory, in the hardware. That time this will not support. Okay, when you select each and every IC, if the vendor gives the description, it will be available here. So only we are going to strictly use with the vendors. Sometimes their speed at which it can be processed will be different. So you would have designed your program for some other speed, but here high speed ICs are available which may not support your program effectively. What is there in the textbook? And 8051 core is also available. So this is can be used for theoretical programs, whatever is given in your textbook. So, but for your laboratory purpose, you can go for Philips NXP, because finally hardware we have to stick with that. I'm searching this, I'm choosing this particular device. After that, you give OK. It will ask for the confirmation. Copy startup.ea51 to project folder and add the file to project. You please give yes. So this is like your header file for your C programs. Here for assembly language, we are having .51 startup file. So it will be like a header file which is required. So these are the file is a part of C51 compiler package. So this particular package is required for the header file definitions. So the assignments, whatever you are representing has to be given. For example, in your program, we are using some registers, we are labeling. So what is this registers? Registers are similar to your C language or Python language variables. So the labels what we are going to use must be in binary format or in hexadecimal format like this, but which cannot be remembered by us. So this header file will make all these things to into a format: accumulator, B register, stack pointer, DP. Like that, it will be mentioned for easy in your programming, and understandability will be easier, and clarity in the program will be easier, and troubleshooting the errors in the program will be easier if you include this startup.a51. So this is the step which we have to include. So after that, so this particular window, we will be having project window. This is nothing but your file text editor, and we will be having an output window. So this is the thing, and then we will be having file, edit, view, project, flash, debug, peripherals, tools, SVCS, window, help, etc. And some shortcuts for doing the experiments. So now to write a program, right click the source. Okay. So this is a target. Target, in the target we are having a source. In that source, we are going to add an item, a new item to the group, or add existing project. So we didn't have any files. So if you would have come for the second experiment like that, we can use that. So now the first experiment, add a new item to the group. So in this, we can see that whether it is a C file or C++ file, assembly level file, header file, text file, image file, or use a code template. So user code template means you can make a template and then we can use it for our project. But time being, you have to select ASM files, which is saved nowadays as .s. Previous versions, it is .asm. Now it is .s. So ASM file or .a51 file. Type. Okay. Here you type the experiment, for example. Okay, always save addition your registration number. Maybe this is a part of task one or task two or task. So you can see that everywhere your registration number will be there. So when you take printout, you can 100% guarantee that your document is similar what you have done. You have not copied or anything. Automatically we can see. So copying is not a mistake, but at least trying once by yourself and generating the same form of output is mandatory. That's why we are doing it. Okay. So now you can see that the line numbers will be automatically given. The addition program will be mentioned. The name of the program will be mentioned. And then we will be having this step one. So to write the program, all the lines must be in letters. always we are going to start with the origin, org 0000H. So this is the normal programs or interrupts. I will tell differently. Okay. So what is interrupts? Interrupts is nothing but like your reset button. You are having this. Suddenly I press a reset. What happens? Completely the system reboots. Whatever be the case, whether I am in the meeting or whatever the case, my system rebooted. So I was completely absent for a duration of time. The system rebooted completely, and then again I was able to join in the meeting. So like that, a program can be interrupted in between, and it can join later from the scratch where it started. For example, our themes in the meeting, I was not available for 10 minutes where during the period of time my system rebooted. After that, I was able to do it. So we are having this program with the origin 000H. So origin 000H is nothing but we are initializing the software to fix it to 000H. Okay. So after this, we are going to have our data in the C language. What you will do, you will be declaring the variables. After declaring a variable, or in Python language, you will declare the variable and you will call the information. So instead of that, we can use that as the first data. Practicing to add two data. So I am trying to give a maximum value in both the cases to understand. So 8-bit value I am going to give. So 0 FFH. So it is nothing but we can put it into binary and you will be having 4 bits for first and second year. So 8 bits. So maximum value I am given. Register variable. So the labels I'm going to use here is for this is A and R1 to R0 to R7. Values I have loaded. Yes, sir. This is also that we'll explain the instructions later. Just program will look. So now I'm going to this statement to verify the outputs. This jump stands for short jump. Here is the label. The label I am giving to the same line. Therefore, the system will be in the same line. During that period of time, I can verify the results. So for that reason, I'm giving for the hardware purpose. Software because this it can run, but we can follow as per the. Now I have given this program. After writing this program, I have to save this file. After saving this file, the second next step is nothing but to check whether there is any errors or not. We can see that the coloring is been done. If from that coloring itself, we can find out whether we have made a syntax error. So first step of you can see that all these variables are your registers will be in one color. All your keywords which the assembler will understand will be in color, blue color. Similarly, your assembler directives will be in blue color. So now I want to check for errors. So you can see from give it for Alt F5 for checking error or sorry debugging session. You can give start debug. It will ask for evaluation mode run with the code limit 2K. You can give OK because we are using the model which is having the code limit of 2K. So if you want to get the full licensed thing, you can get it. So now for education purpose, we are limiting to 2K. So now you can see another window. It has opened another window where we can see the list of registers available in 8051. Please note down these registers R0 to R7, A register, B register, then SP, stack pointer, SP maximum value 07H. Stack pointer 07H is the hexadecimal value. Here 0x is the another way of representing the hexadecimal format. Next, PC program counter. Why it is given dollar symbol is it will be incremented automatically according to the size of the instructions for execution. Next comes the DPTR, and then we'll be having program status word. So program status word will be affected automatically when we are executing any arithmetic instruction. So that we are going to monitor now to understand it. So in your digital electronics, you would have done this hexadecimal addition or binary addition. Can you tell me the answer or just in the chat box, give the answer for the to give it. See what is the answer for it. Chat box. This will be the answer for this will be the automatic attendance. Okay, which will be verified with the form what we have filled. Please do it. I will give. You can use calculator and find the answer and give the answer in hexadecimal as well as binary format. In both the format, you just type with your registration number in the chat box. Okay, good. Everyone have tried your level best. Maximum everyone have answered correctly. So I asked to give the binary equivalent also. What is the binary equivalent of one FE? So you can observe that we must have 9-bit representation, but 8-bit processor will have most of its registers in 8-bit. Okay, the accumulator. So, as in your digital, you have studied about the carry generation. So for a 4-bit adder, you would have decided, or BCD adder, a carry will be generated, and that carry will be propagated as a carry. So here also we will be having a carry flag. So a flag is nothing but a register which is automatically affected by arithmetic operations. So 1-bit register which is automatically affected by the arithmetic operations. So flags are always 1-bit registers. So as you have done, so 510 very good decimal equivalent, and they have given the binary format also. Siva Siddharth has tried in both the ways. Very good. So you can do in convert it into decimal, do the operation, then convert it into binary, or you can do it in hexadecimal and then convert it into binary to understand. So which is easier for you? What method you have studied in digital, you can follow it. So now we can see that the program will be like this. I am resetting RST. You note down RST is for resetting. So now you can see that the program indicates 2 arrow marks. 1 minute, sorry. I'm not sharing it. Everyone are able to view this window, I think so now. So you can see that the program is not pointing out to ORG000, this arrow mark. So the arrow mark indicates that these are the instructions which are executable by the processor. And what is this ORG000H then? It is an assembler directive. So note down, it is an assembler directive. So to understand, code, we are using this assembler directive. So to clearly understand the code, assembler directives are given. So if I am giving this program to you, you are giving to your friend must understand that your program starts from the memory location 000H, and it starts storing this information in the memory. So that's why we are giving this over here. And from move instruction, it will be executing. So you can see that the first instruction move or not FF is being executed. You can see the updation of R0. So I will give reset again. So you can see that the first operation is being done. Okay. Next, I will be giving this step-by-step execution. Okay. So I will be giving 11. You can see the next instruction is being executed. So what instruction is being executed is being given here, and f of the next value is being loaded. Okay, in the accumulator. So you can see that after this execution, the accumulator value has been updated and it has been given in a blue color. So whichever value is updated has been given in the blue color. And next instruction is to perform addition. So add a comma r naught. So in C language, you will be giving a is equal to a plus r naught. But here we have to use the instruction add assembly level. So after this, you can see that the answer will be FE. The you are given one FE, the one will be available in the carry flag. CY is equal to 1. So this is the final answer for your program. Okay. This is the basic ideology of your addition program. So in the next class, we can see more about this thing. And other thing is you want to know, sir, where the program will be stored. you can go to the memory window, view memory window. You open a memory window. After opening a memory window, you will be given C colon application. Okay. View memory window. You can see the C colon file, and here uh, if you give, so here hexadecimal values are noted by 0x, and then either capital letter or small letter. If you give, you can see that the program is being stored in the hexadecimal format. So what is this format refers that I will discuss in the next classes. Just note down that this is C code window. Then we are having D window, data window. You will be getting the resultant value FF is been preserved in the register or not. And similarly, I am giving the next condition. You can see the values, whatever is been affected in this particular register. This is about our answers. So this memory is data memory, D colon. C colon is nothing but memory. And we are having all the registers what are available in 8051 or not to R7 general purpose register. A stands for accumulator. B is special function or a special register which will hold the multiplication result or division result. Then SP stands for stack pointer. So what is meant by stack pointer, we will discuss later. Program counter, you can see we have not changed or we have not assigned any value. So when your execution is going on, this program counter is automatically incremented, and which line you are executing currently. Based on that, it will be assigned. Okay. Then comes the DPT or data pointer that we will see later. And what is the time taken for execution is been given in seconds. And that is the advantage of assembly level language coding compared to other languages, because other language, high level languages, it may depend upon the processor capability as well as the operating system. But here, independent of operating system, we are going to run this program. Therefore, we can accurately calculate the amount of seconds required to execute or amount of time required to execute the program. And here the flags we are having, which is also called as program status word. So these are the list of flags that we will be discussing later. Now for our thing, for this experiment, carry flag, auxiliary carry flag is affected and the parity flag is affected. Note down. And OV stands for overflow flag. F1 and RS F0 will be seen later. Okay. For arithmetic operations, parity flag, overflow flag, carry flag, auxiliary carry flag will be affected. Okay. So this is about the introduction of Keel Microvision software, what you are going to use, and introduction about the addition program. Create your attendance and you can leave now. So in the next class, we can see in depth what is the task, how we are going to proceed with it, and what about the projects. All the guidelines will be given in the next forthcoming classes after the add and top. So I hope those who have completed the attendance form can leave.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Your attendance in VTOP and you can leave.
Sir, where in VTOP, sir?
So try to make the group in the next class. For the project, you must be grouping within the slot. So no other slot member must be added. So everything, all your reviews, everything will be conducted during the laboratory session only. Therefore, all the members must be available during the presentation. So it is mandatory that you must be grouping within the slot. No crossover of slots is feasible. Okay, so now you can leave.